Hi, my name is Miranda Johnson, and I am very excited to tell you what Jesus has done in my life. I grew up in a loving home with both parents. I'm the youngest of three. In my preteen years, I dealt with a family member who, manipulated me and bullied me, and also would attack me in ways like my appearance. Living, around that and being around that all the time, it started to build anger in me. I started to be very insecure about myself and who I was. And then, as I got older in junior high school is when I started hanging out with the wrong crowd. And these people were the rebels, the people who drank, smoked, did drugs, had boyfriends, and I started to cling towards that group of people. Looking back now, I think it was just I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be liked. As I got older and stuff, I kept doing things, kept scheming, kept trying to go places I wasn't supposed to go, lying to my parents constantly. And that ended up being, I got into a relationship in my junior year, my first real boyfriend, and I ended up getting pregnant at the age of 17. I ended up dropping out of school. I ended up getting married. I was with my ex-husband for 6 years. We ended up having 2 kids. That ended in a way where he cheated on me. I was so angry and so mad at myself. I had gained weight during my pregnancies and I was so insecure and thinking to myself, if I would just lose weight, if I could just lose weight and him think I was pretty again, then he would stay with me. Well, it didn't work out that way. I ended up still divorced. Started to work at a restaurant and met some more friends, and these friends liked to party after work hours, and that's when I got introduced to meth. I just remember that I felt so stuck. I was to the point where I had lost my kids, my older kids, because of the abuse that was going on in our home. And I remember I took a bunch of pills. I just said, I'm done. I'm not a good mom. I can't get my kids back. I tried my hardest to get my kids back. I did everything that I was supposed to do to get my kids back, but nothing was working out in my favor. And I was laying there that night. I was so sick to my stomach, and I was finally told him what I had done, my ex. If I would have died, I would not have gone to heaven, that's for sure. And thank God I was able to go to the hospital, and they took care of me there. And after that, I did get into a couple of relationships that were abusive. And both of those relationships resulted in children. I kept going back to my ex-boyfriend. I kept going back. He wanted to see his daughter. I felt bad. I would go take her, and it would always end up in a bad situation. And my neighbor came and told me about Jesus. And she told me about what Jesus had done in her life. And I wanted that. And I remember she would invite me to church, and I would go Sunday mornings, and I was still doing drugs and still drinking and in a bad relationship. I had always had paraphernalia on me. I always had shots of shooters with me. I always had something on me. And I remember being in the bathroom and talking to my brother, and all of a sudden everything in that bathroom just turned white. I was talking to him about his situation he was going through, and just something happened to me to where it dawned on me, like God just turned on the lights, and he's like, no, this isn't what I have for you. This isn't who you are. I've been with you this whole time. You're not this person, you're my child. I ended up having to go to jail that night, but I was like preaching to people. I was preaching to people and telling them, Jesus is real. Jesus is so real, and he loves you, And I just remember after that, my whole life has changed. My whole life has changed for the better. My mom always had a hard time trusting me because I was a liar, and I was a drug addict, and I would leave for hours. And that after I came home from jail, I told her what had happened to me, and she was super excited. She didn't doubt me one bit. She was just amazed at what God had done. And anytime I'd leave the house, she knew I was going to go where I was going to say I was going to go. Like it was an instant that she knew that something had happened to me. My mom and I had problems for a long time because of the way I was living, and I know it was through her prayers and the prayers of the church that today I can tell you that Jesus saved my life. I've been married now for going on 6 years, and I am so thankful for my husband. He loves God with all his heart, and I'm so thankful for our marriage, and I'm so thankful for our church. The more amazing thing is just knowing that Jesus paid the price for all that I've done. You know, I don't have to sit here and feel guilty anymore. I don't have to sit here and dwell on the things that I've done and all my failures, because Jesus has paid it all for me. And the Bible does say, and this is one of my favorite verses, is in him we have redemption through his blood, the forgiveness of sin, according to the riches of his grace. His grace is so rich and so wonderful, and it goes for miles and miles and miles. We can't even see past it. And he's so willing to help anybody and everybody who will come to him. If you're out there and you don't know Jesus and you can relate to my story, you know, a lot of young moms out there dealing with abuse, dealing with drugs and alcohol, dealing with the bondage, you know, that comes with those things. I encourage you, and I encourage you for your children too, is give your life to Jesus. He has been the only thing that I have ever done right in my life. And I just strongly, from one mother to another, or from one person to another person, is I very much encourage you to give your life to Jesus.